Hey, everybody. It's been a long time. Well, it's the new year. Happy New Year. Happy Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holiday. Whatever your thing is. We're in a new year. There's a lot going on. We might talk a little bit about that tonight. But really, today is more about the community. We had an interesting event this week where one of the I'd say one of the brighter guys in the community. I think Shiev's just that happy go lucky face that's always in front of you. So he had unfortunately we had a little bit of a terrible incident where he was in a little bit of a car accident, well, a lot of a car accident, if you've seen the picture. And I haven't streamed in a while. I've been taking a little bit of a break to get something unique going, but this kind of takes precedent over all that. So I decided that I think it's a good idea to do a community stream. I invited pretty much anybody and everybody that I can think of. Everybody is welcome. Just give me a shout in the Discord if you want to jump in, say anything, say hello. But really, today is about a community, a charity, a GoFundMe to help our friend Shiev, who is in a really violent accident. He doesn't quite know anything about this yet. I'm just going to give you guys a quick update before I start bringing some folks in. So yeah, Sheev was in a car accident, heading here to continue to work with me and learn some TV stuff. And he was unfortunately in a car accident and was rushed to the emergency room and has been in the hospital for the last several days. He doesn't really know that we've all been pulling together for him yet, but I know that that now I can give you guys a little update. That's why we're doing the stream tonight, because as of now, he has been released from the hospital. He is heading on a very long drive back to his house where he will continue to heal. He does have a couple of problems with his back. He's got a couple of cracks in some of his vertebrae. His right arm is all hemmed up. He's going to need some surgery for that later on next week, maybe. And he broke his nose, so that might have helped or hurt his YouTube career. I'm not too sure, but he's been out of contact. We searched and searched for all of his stuff, and not everything has been found. So that's also part of the reason we're doing this GoFundMe, is to help him not only recoup and have a little bit of relief on stress on any bills or anything like that, but also to replace some of the items that he lost. I mean, obviously his car is going to be a whole nother gambit later with insurance and all that stuff. And then obviously any rehab, it's going to be many months until he is fully capable to go back to work. So that's why we're going to continue to do these. I might end up doing these kind of streams as often as I can to try to keep the idea of it out there. Maybe next time we can bring him on and you guys can see, or later in the week, we'll have to see. But right now it's more of a time for the community to put their shit aside. Everybody seems to gravitate towards their perspective corners. And these are times where it's time to put our perspective hats and our colors to the side and kind of gather together and pull forward and pull one of our own up. So yeah, that's the update right now. He is walking, he is talking, he is medicated, and he is on a long journey home. So without any further, I think it'd be a good idea to just bring in some folks. Let's chat. Let's talk about our friend and let's just try to chop it up, and let's put all the fun stuff aside. I mean, obviously I'm boring people already. If this guy's sitting here reading, we got Santa coming in from out here. I mean, Q's having a drink. So I think it's a good time to bring everybody in. And
you were talking about perspectives, and I just, reminded me of one of the better Star Wars perspectives that are out there. So
I see. Well, that's good.
I just happen to have it laying around.
It's good to get started on your homework early, so that's
like
great.
a good coaster.
Thanks.
How's everybody been?
Fitting.
We've been streaming. I mean,
First of all,
been living in the. I mean, basically, Scotty's living Ready Player One right now, in the metaverse on his GTA servers with his friends. I know
gotta do
that
something. Have you seen AAA gaming lately, bro?
it's madness. Like you guys are living the life.
I mean, I'm still playing God of War.
I mean, I know Nerd Mafia's taking a little bit of hiatus. I think this is your first stream back in a while, also.
Yeah, I've been just working on the house, man. Different background over here. Everybody keeps telling me I look skinnier, so
You do, man. You look looking like you're working outdoors. You're getting that lumberjack look, that chiseled jawline, huh?
1,200 square feet of hardwood flooring. Just all that. That's where all those calories went.
And stress from the Bears football season.
Oh,
And that's what we do every year.
Same. NFC North. We got to stick together.
and then Santa, it's good to see you. It's been a long time since we've had a chat. I appreciate you coming in. It's later in the evening for you on the eastern part of the country.
Yeah. Well, this is an important topic. It's an important community event. And I told my wife about it last night, about Shiev being in the accident. And then today about us wanting to do this tonight. And she said, that's fine. So able to take some time away from family to take care of a good friend.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a good 24 hours. We put this up last night. You know, I wanted to wait a little bit, to make sure he was stable before I put anything out there. But you know, we've had a good day. We've raised just about $3,000 to get him started, and that's a good start. I'm literally Twitter bombing every single Star Wars celebrity to get them to send an emoji or a retweet or a word. I bugged Mark Hamill 2 days in a row. I'm going to continue so, because I know he checks his tweets. But yeah, I've been doing that just to put it out there, maybe get a retweet from one of them. We've been thankful to have Josh from Den of Nerds, Meg, Chillmonger, all these people that I associate more on Twitter than on YouTube, and they've put this out there. It's been a great first day. And we're going to see how it goes, for the foreseeable future. We're going to continue to try and reach out to more and more people to try and get more and more people involved, and get the word out there. Because really, I mean, we did the same thing during COVID, right? During COVID, there were a lot of people that were having financial issues, that were trying to make it inch by inch over the course of that time. And, I sent a lot of people a lot of different things, right? And over that time. So this is just another example of, putting our perspective hats away and just trying to help a person out, posting it on every social media we have, putting it on YouTube, everybody sharing it in their community posts. This is the kind of stuff, in the Discord, where every little bit really helps. Every couple bucks really helps out another person, and just paying it forward. And that's kind of the attitude that I live by, is I don't want anything back. I don't, if I give it, I don't want it back, whether it's things or money or whatever. And this is the kind of thing I'm trying to continue to progress in these communities, right? Not just mine, but in everybody's community. So anytime we're talking in the Discord, I'm always trying to give, and to spread that positivity, because these are the times that we need it to be reciprocated across the aisles, right?
Yeah. I could just attest that when my dad was in that really bad accident over a year ago, that this community helped pull us through that. And it was really meaningful to my dad that you guys reached out, and all that you did, and everybody here was certainly contributed. Quentin was awesome. Everybody did just amazing things. And it reminds us that you get outside of the social media bubble that we tend to try to carve out a little space in, that there's a lot of good people, and we can disagree about lots of things. We can have different philosophies when how we manage our channels, our content. We can have different philosophies about what the future of the franchise should be, but all of that pales in comparison to the humans, the people, the really important the thing that binds us together. That as humans trying to do the best we can, and you get an opportunity like this, and Sheev's such a great guy.
He really
just
is,
to,
man.
just to share with you guys, I know many people know that I've struggled with mental health issues for years. I mean, this has been pretty much my whole life. And Shiev, back during the holidays, he was reaching out to me every couple days or so. Hey, how you doing? Right, just touching base, understanding the mental health struggles that I go through, and wanting to just make sure we're fine. And he's not the only one, by the way, that does that. But just to share, like, he cares about he cared about me personally, right? Not just whatever the channel's doing. We made friends, so it's really important that we are able to show him a little bit of love and a little bit of care, with, for what we can, to help maybe raise his spirits, to help pull him through this very, very difficult time, right?
Yeah, I mean, his it's funny because he is kind of the guy that's always that's always there with a smile, right? It's not I've not yet seen a grumpy version of him. Now maybe you guys that fantasy football with him, maybe you guys that talk the foosball a little more, maybe you guys see that grumpy side of him, but really I've never really experienced it. He's always ready with a smile. He's very friendly to everybody. He doesn't really dive into the negativity. Even seen him, where he was, watching him wake up from some of his drug induced sleep in the hospital bed. When he wakes up, it's always a big smile when he sees somebody, right? So it's definitely good to see that personality is still there. It's okay, you're in the outer rim, we get it. But it's good to see that's not lost in this time of peril, right? For him, he's still bringing his authentic self. He's still that way, even in a state of where he's in pretty big pain, right? It's not it's not light. I don't know how many of you have back issues. I've lived with it since I was a pup. But back issues live with you for life. Really everything. You feel everything when you're old, right? I mean, I think I speak for the people above 40, but I mean, once you hit a certain point in life, you feel all the mistakes of your past. And some days are better than others. Right. So as I bend down to pick something up and creak like an old man in front of him, he's like, "Oh, don't hurt yourself too." I'm like, "Oh, you're going to feel like me one day." Right. You just look how I feel every day. So, he's still in that high spirits, but I know in the back of his mind, he's hurting. And in the back, but even then his sense of humor is still presenting itself and is there. And I'm glad that this event isn't going to strip that from him. And like you were saying, Santa, these are also the times to reach out to him directly, right? Hit him in the Discord, hit him on Twitter, show him that the community is supporting him, not only with, a buck here, a buck there, whatever it is, but, also with comments, also with, reach out, because this is the time where you can get really inside yourself, right? I don't know if anybody's ever been hurt and laid up in bed. These are the times when you can get real depressed, when it can get real in the back of your mind, where you can feel real alone, even though you're surrounded by your family who's helping take care of you. You start to feel, and this is not how anybody really is, but this is the stuff that creeps in the back of your mind. Oh, I'm not working, I'm not contributing, I'm useless, da da da. These things start to the darkness starts to seep its way in, and hearing that people are thinking about you, hearing people are wanting to know how you're doing. These are the things that keep us up when you're down. And that's really what's important right now is, not only showing them, hey, we have this little bank account for some of your necessities, but hey, we're thinking about you. And that's kind of what these streams are all about. So maybe next week, hopefully he's feeling up to it. We can do some more of this, and hopefully, you guys can talk to him and he can tell you his story. But I can only tell you what I know, and that is that he's still, he's still being Shiev, which is great. And we want him to keep doing so. So yeah, I mean,
that's great to hear.
Yeah, I was the thing that got me the most happy today was really just watching him get up and walk. Right. So I wasn't so worried about his legs because I've been watching him wiggle his feet and toes and kind of do leg lifts. So I know that like everything below the belt is working perfectly fine, which is great.
Pause.
Well, you guys.
Obsession made sure, guys. Okay,
you guys can be dirty if you want. That's completely up to you. You guys can be as filthy as you want. But but yeah, I'm sure all the plumbing works too. I mean, he didn't have any fun bags, hanging anywhere. So.
All right, just a future for the bloodline. We hear you. That's good.
But yeah, he was wiggling his fingers and toes. Well, not the right ones because those are stiff right now. But watching him get up this morning, watching him be able to walk around the facility with the PT people was the most excited thing I've seen all week, really, because I was a little concerned at how his back was doing. It does hurt to move around like that, but ultimately, at least watching him be able to get up and down is very promising, right? So, not to mention,
it's really promising,
Well, and I'll see if I can get my hands on the video that we shot of the wreckage and show you guys in private. But yeah, I mean the car is a ball. It's a little ball of what it used to be, and everybody who has seen it is like, how did you number one survive that, number one, and number two, how did you crawl out of there by yourself, right? Because I was looking
he crawled out of that himself.
Yeah, dude, he's a tough little son of a bitch, right? Like no bullshit, he's a tough mofo, right? Because like I said, he's a tall dude.
I saw the car. Holy shit.
He's a tall dude. And when we were looking for his stuff and trying to get his, looking for his phone and all his stuff, first, I'm amazed how he didn't break his legs, because the whole cockpit of that car is a mess, right? But then he crawled his ass out of that at the same time and was coherent enough to say, I got to get out of this car. Right. Like he's a tough dude. He's a tough little dude. Right. And so he said after that, he kind of blacked out. And then the next thing he knows, he was in the hospital. And I have I live with basically a private detective. I live with frickin' Carmen Sandiego here. And, my better half found him in about 2 minutes. Right. Okay. So we got worried. We hadn't heard from him. And I got on the phone with my better half and like, hey, I'm starting to get, through the day I text him. I'm like, oh, haha, hope coffee's good. And oh, haha, hope you're okay. And then it's like, hey, are you okay? Right. And then it's like, okay, I'm starting to get a little bit pissed off. Are you okay? I'm a little worried now. And then I made a call to my better half and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. This isn't his style. Right. And so I kind of felt like something was off. And within a minute or two, she found him. And the next time I called her back, she was already on her way to where he was. So he didn't spend that much time by himself initially. We reached out to his family, got a hold of everybody, and got those processes rolling. It was so bad. So basically what happened is he's driving here. There's the wind here was like 20, 30 miles an hour in the city, right? And so he was just outside of the city. The wind was crazy. It basically a sandstorm, and he couldn't, the visibility was minimal, and people in front of him, for whatever reason, were stopped, and he, boom, basically ran into a wall. So it wasn't like he was speeding at 100 miles an hour. It wasn't like it was anything reckless. It's simply a matter of, chance that the sandstorm became blinding at a certain point, and then he was rushed to the ER. And then for the last couple days, I mean, shit, for me, it feels like it's been a week, but it's really only been about 48 hours, maybe 65, 75 hours, right? It's really not been that long, but we haven't slept a bunch. We've been back and forth to the hospital. We've been, with his family. So it's been a daunting couple of days for everybody, but the best news is that he's on his way home. That's the best news possible after 2 days and after a wreck like
that, yeah,
that, right? And you can see the car's a mess. Yeah, it was.
I mean,
that
is like the definition of the crash test. It's like hitting an object at 55 miles per hour that is dead stopped in front of you. That is not for nothing a testament to whoever he bought the car from, man. Like literally saved his life, probably. It's crazy.
Well, and
I've driven through those sandstorms before, and even slowing down, like not to tangent off too much because I've told Obsession the story, but so I used to drive a Jeep Wrangler for a living across the country, and I was taking photography composites for only fraternities and sororities. Like this is like a true profession out there that exists, because in order for them to be nationals or considered an actual frat, that big picture with everybody's face, they have to get that made every year. So I'm out here just, whole country, never experienced, never seen any of this shit. I'm from upstate New York, Outer Rim, Farmville, basically. Hit a sandstorm. I slow down to 30, 35 even. Get out the other side. I'm following a bunch of cars, and it's just sideways sand. I get out the other side, and it's clear as day, and there's like stuff on my window. I'm using the windshield and everything, and window doesn't get any better. I pull over at a gas station. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I get up real close, look at it. Across the entire face of the windshield and every inch of the white paint of my Wrangler were microscopic little scratch marks, chips. It was destroyed. Entire car destroyed, the whole surface of it. So even the speeds they recommend you to slow down to, like, you'll destroy your car. You basically have to stop.
Yeah, I mean it's just no different. The fact
that no one pulled over to the side of the road is where I'm like, Jesus, dude, you stop right in the center.
Well, like I said, I think it was
lane?
From what we heard from the tow yard and on the lot where everybody was stashing the cars after the accidents. It was 4 cars. So he was at the back of the caboose, at least from what we've ascertained. Again, I haven't seen any police reports. I haven't called and talked to anybody with that, but from what I've talked to the people that towed the trucks and and cars and where the lot was, 4 cars came in on that accident alone. So it was a multiple car pileup that he just happened to be, I'm guessing, the caboose of, based on what's left of the car. I didn't see him get hit anywhere else, but I cannot confirm nor deny. Like I said, all I know is that he crawled his big ass out of the car, which is an astounding feat in itself, and then was coherent enough to go back and look for his phone for a minute.
That's insane.
Shit.
He went back.
Arm.
So with a busted arm and and then I guess he, somebody came to help, and then he passed out, and then
me and Shiev are gonna have to have a conversation when he's coherent.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, like I said, he's a bantha. He's just a tough dude, and so Matt's here. X-Wing's here. We brought in a couple during the conversations, but yeah, basically, you know,
what's up, guys?
The best news
see you
is
guys.
that he got up by himself from the bed today. At least that's what I saw today. So he got out of the bed. He went with the PT and he went for a walk, and they cleared him to be released after his second walk of the day, I guess. So,
I was shocked when you told me that.
Yeah. So
like free to go tomorrow? Are you kidding me? I thought it was going to be like San Quentin. He was in for a stay, but
yeah,
he's a tough kid, man.
And I guess, you know, the it's going to be a long haul, but ultimately the fact that there's no internal bleeding, there's no brain issue, there's no real nerve or muscular, you know, yanking, I guess, no ACL, MCL, no, you know, shoulder. I mean, obviously he's bruised on his shoulder from a seatbelt, but the fact that he didn't break his legs, the fact that there's no brain damage, the fact that there's no more damage, and there's no internal bleeding,
man.
I was just gonna say that.
I saw that car. It looked like a crumpled bit of tinfoil. Like the fact that he's walking is insane. The fact that he's alive is a blessing.
Yes, and that's what we've been saying the last couple days, is that, you know, the fact that he is alive, number one, is just astounding. And watching him get up today was very motivating. Yeah, he log rolled over, and then he pushed himself up on his own, and then he stood up on his own, and then he went for a walk around the facility with the PT person so that they could evaluate him, and then they cleared him for release. So that was this afternoon. You know how they gave him some meds for the drive home, because he's driving back to his about a 4-hour drive home today. So they gave him some meds to get him in a good state for the voyage. And then on his way home, once they did all the paperwork and stuff. So
he's hopped up on that good stuff right now. On his
way back.
He's got the spice.
Nose lizards.
Yeah, he's definitely on the spice, right?
Hanging in Cloud City right now.
Yeah. So he's hopefully he'll sleep most of the way home. He's riding home in a comfy ride. So hopefully he is comfortable on his journey, because he is probably literally on his way right now. It's going to be about a 4 or 5 hour drive, just because they have to stop.
He's doing that.
I think he just wants to go home, right? I think he just wants to be in his own space.
Can't blame him.
You know, getting out of a hospital bed that he's been, wiggling around in for 2 days. I think he wants to get in his own space and, get his stuff together. So
feel comfortable.
Just try to feel a little more comfortable. And so
I was talking to my wife about this last night, and telling her what happened and everything. She said, one of the things she said, and now hearing how he's doing today, she says to me, she says, thank God we live in the future.
Yeah,
right. Think about what medical professions are capable of today. Yes. It's unbelievable. I mean, we truly do live in the future. Like we're living in Star Wars land, guys.
It's funny because every generation is going to be jealous of us, right? The previous generation is jealous of us because they didn't have the technology of today, whether they're injuries, whether communication, whatever. And then the generations after us are going to be jealous of the things we have now as well.
Yeah, they'll be looking at us like the guys who used to put a woodpecker in your ear for a headache,
right?
A nail up the nose or a lobotomy or whatever.
Right. So
they don't still do that.
It's definitely a crazy time that we live in. The fact that you can get your whole body scanned in a matter of hours and know what's going on before you have to put a knife to skin at all, right? Yeah. And I mean, shit, now it's not even knife half the time. Sometimes it's laser.
It's a laser.
So yeah, I mean, he's gonna thankfully, from what we heard, there's going to be a 2-month process on his arm, before the rehab, before the strength conditioning stuff comes up. It's going to be hemmed up in a cast for probably at least 2 months.
Was it radius? Was it metacarpals? Was it?
It's the big one in the forearm.
Okay, so he didn't break both, just one?
Just one.
I think it's the radius.
The bigger one is the radius, yes.
Yeah.
And so they had to basically break it clean.
Yeah.
Because it was, I guess maybe it wasn't broke clean. And so they had to break it clean and then split it and all that.
Put it all back together.
And then next week, once the swelling goes down, they will get in and fix it. So
interesting.
He did have to have yeah, and from what yes, he was in a pretty violent wreck. 50 about we'll attribute to him. He hit a wall at 55, basically. He hit a parked car on the freeway in the fast lane. Whether that car had been in a collision already or not, I cannot confirm nor deny, but basically he hit a car that was stopped in the fast lane of the freeway going 55. So the good thing is he wasn't going over the speed limit. He wasn't speeding. This wasn't reckless driving. This was literally freak of nature blinding his front end. And then unfortunately it was like Days of Thunder, right? Come out of the smoke right into a car. Boom. That's the visual I can give. So yeah, he's going to have a fun spaceship ride home. It's going to suck for a little bit, but it's going to take a couple months for him to be able to use his right hand again. And then however long the back injury is, that's just going to depend on modern science. And he's young. I mean, if this happened,
you were telling me they can like basically cement those wings of the vertebrae back in there just so they don't go floating around.
Yeah. Know? So I didn't know this, but apparently the way that it was described to me by the nurse, I didn't see the x-rays or anything, but the way the nurse described it is he's got two vertebrae at the bottom of his back where one or both of the tips of the vertebrae are cracked. Yeah. And so what they were saying is there's no nerve endings or anything attached to those to cause
pointless little antlers coming off the side of the vertebrae.
You know, so they might cement them. They might figure out something with that without having to do surgery. His upper back that has a fracture in one of the upper discs will probably require surgery. I think they're waiting for the swelling to go down to really get in there and find out.
They won't know if they need to fuse it yet.
Yeah, they haven't. They haven't gotten there yet. It's mainly been check him out thoroughly, make sure he doesn't have any paralysis. And based on what I saw today, I mean, had he not had a back brace on, he probably would have done a cartwheel, right? Because he's 25, you know, he's young. So this is gonna impede his way for just a little bit, but ultimately this too will pass, and this too will be a story that he will tell one day and laugh about. But that day is definitely not coming anytime soon.
No, I was just gonna say, I hope he doesn't have too bad of a PTSD reaction to the situation, because
I'd be a little worried getting back in a car.
Yeah. I've been in some violent wrecks. I've never had a car that looked like that after. Like I've been in some good ones.
Yeah. He did the Gran Turismo experience.
Yeah, dude. He really, like Scotty was saying earlier, it was like a crash test video is what the car looked like at the end. It looked like one of those videos you see on YouTube of like.
Are you sure this was Interstate 15 and not 5?
No, this was 15. This was headed into Nevada.
Because like 2 days ago, I'm just, you know, because news articles, there was another on a California road, 35 vehicles.
Oh my God.
So must have been weather out there.
Yeah, there was.
Was it snow or a sandstorm? Like
it was a sandstorm.
You can literally probably drive out of snow into sandstorms in that area, right? Or am I wrong? Like there's mountains and stuff you come down
to. Yeah,
it's
pretty common. I've incurred snow on the Cajon Pass before
because it's LA to Vegas, right?
Yes.
Yeah, have you ever taken the I guess it's the California National Forest?
No.
Those roads are like ridges on the side of mountains. It's pretty cool. I assume he didn't go that way.
No, he went right through the Cajon Pass, just straight up the 15 from LA, the 210 on in.
Is he already scheduled to see the doc again when he gets home, or is it, you know?
Yeah, they have their doctors in LA, so they took the recommendations, they took the referrals from here, and then they're going to go see their people. I'm sure he's got doctors that he sees in LA, so he's got.
I hope so. Up here in the East Coast, and I'm 40 something years old. I don't even have a doctor's.
Yeah, no. His family seems like they're pretty savvy. His mom came down to grab him. This basically it's interesting. The highway patrol told her not to drive the night of his accident. They're like, look, it's still a mess up there. There's more accidents happening up there.
And it was a sandstorm?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Coming right. So there's a solar farm as you drive into Vegas from California. There's a solar farm out in California, and it's got these giant towers that basically the solar panels reflect onto a certain point on the tower.
It was like killing birds, wasn't it?
And that, well, yes, it does. and that solar energy then heats up water that creates electricity. Is basically the way that this solar farm works, I guess. I have no idea. But there's 3 giant towers out there, and out there is a dry lake bed. So that whole dry lake bed turns into basically Tatooine on a freaking, on a really windy day where it's in the city. It was 20 when I was working as he was at the hospital. There were 25-mile-an-hour gusts in the city. Out in the desert at the dry lake bed, those gusts were at least 30 to 40 miles an hour.
Okay.
So literally it can go from clear to a sandstorm. Tatooine.
Yeah.
You better get inside soon, Annie. Right? Like
I'm coming, Annie.
Yeah, that's basically the size of these clouds of sand, and unfortunately I've been in them where I drive a little hybrid back and forth to LA, and the wind on those days will push you into the lane adjacent to you, especially as you pass a semi, right? If you have the gump to pass a semi, you feel your whole car shift, and you actually have to adjust for that shift. This was just an instance where it went completely, and he even said he was like, it was black. I couldn't see anything until I was stopped. Yeah. And so
it was a bad storm that came in too, because we caught it bad in Reno. Winds were gusting 65 in Reno, so you can imagine down in the flats in southern Nevada, it must have been cooking.
Yeah, it was. It was just in the city at the event I was at. You could see the wind. The flags were full wind, and you could see everything going on. And then when I found out what happened, I had been in that situation. I've driven in snow like that, where you can't see. Yeah. You're following the tracks of the car in front of you to make sure you stay on the road.
If you're lucky.
Right. And so this is basically the same thing with the sand. And so unfortunately, he was in it, and here we are. But like I said, the best news of the day is that he's walking, he's talking. He was joking with the nurse. His nurse is a huge Star Wars fan. So as soon as she heard, like, she's taking out his IV, and she's like, okay. I have to calm down. You guys are getting me too charged up talking about Star Wars. Hold on.
But which Star Wars? I'm kidding.
Yeah, she's like, hold on. Everybody shut up. Let me take this IV out, and then we'll get back into it. And she looked up his page, and that was the first time I really saw the light come back in his face, because he was talking about his channel, and they were talking about, she went to Galaxy's Edge, and she and her boyfriend did this, and they're talking about celebration and and he was like real amped up and real excited, and that was the best thing to see for the day. Yeah, it was actually Sunday morning about 7 o'clock in the morning. It was super early. So but yeah, that was
glad he got into good hands so quickly. That's key too, being the fact that he, crawls out of that on his own with the injuries that he has. It just shows you how strong that guy is, man.
Seriously,
he's such a positive light, like in just everything. Like I can like hear his voice just like when he says to you, like, "Hey, what's up, my guy?" Like, you know, it's like, yeah.
Bro's got an
Put a
infectious
red
smile.
card to sleep.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's just it. I mean, it's not. He's a guy that doesn't ask for anything. You know, he's trying to change his life. You know, that's, I guess for me, that's the part I hold a little bit of, you know, a little bit of mentor guilt here, right? That's the part that gets to me a little bit, is that hey, there's another guy.
Hey,
Another one. But yeah, basically it was you know, I hold a little mentor guilt here just because I'm trying to help him change his life. I'm trying to help him usher in a new adventure, right? And bringing him into television and teaching him what I do. And so this whole time it's bothered me. That's why I'm going so out of my way, because I feel responsible for you know, for my guy, right? That's
How long
my
of a commute is it?
well, I mean, he's been coming out here. He stays with me when he comes out and does some days. You know, if we work a game together, usually he'll stay here. If it's an early game, he'll drive home after, because it's, you know, still daylight out. So for him, you know, he'll come and drive his 3.5 hours, his 4 hours, depending on traffic. He'll stay the night here. If it's a late night game, and then he'll go home in the morning, right? I mean, this is what I've been doing, living Vegas to LA my whole career, is sometimes you just grind it out and you drive in the morning, you crash out on a homie's couch or in a bedroom if they have it, and then you drive home, right?
Obsession, you're not doing it because you feel guilty. You're doing it because you're a good guy. And that's
no. But I have been by his side as much as possible, bringing him smoothies, bringing him blankets and pillows, because this is my guy, right? Like, I feel like Shiev on fucking Mustafar, like, he's still alive, right? We can and that's the joke. The joke of the stream is, that's why I named the stream Project Necromancy. Like, we can rebuild him, we can bring him back to life, right? Like, so, but yeah, no, I mean, I just feel responsible for my guy, right? Like, it's
I appreciate the feeling of responsibility you have, but like, I mean, you're not responsible.
No, I mean, I did nothing wrong. You can't anticipate this stuff, but you know, that's my guy, right? Anytime, you know, you mentor somebody and they get hurt, you're with them, right? Like, that's that symbiotic bond you build as a mentor, right?
That's a beautiful thing to see, though.
You know, so yeah, we've been, you know, I take a lot of pride in him, man. He's what I was 20 years ago, right? He's fucking smart. He's hungry. He wants it, right? I've offered this life to a lot of people. You want to learn this?
You have.
I'll teach you.
Yeah.
Right? I have sent people money so they can try to get to gigs. I have offered my home to let people stay and learn. He took the bait and he's like, I will run. I'm going to bug you nonstop. Let's go. And he took it, and he wants it. I see a lot of myself 20 years ago. I nurture that kind of stuff. And so I had great mentors. I was very lucky. Now it's my responsibility to pass on all of that. And he's my guy, right? Like, that's the guy. So I'm all in on him as much as he's all in on this. And so I'm not going to let him slip back, right? I'm not going to let him not continue this, right? Like, you got hurt trying to do this. We're not done. Like, this.
I don't care if you got a cast. Hold that camera.
Yeah, I'll give him. Get
this guy a chest rig.
Learn how to use your left hand. That's it. Like, you're gonna be ambidextrous by the time this is over. But
the I'm sure you guys deal with it. The biggest pain in the ass thing ever taking the composite photos is like you get used to doing the setups over and
Yeah.
over again. It's the
Oh,
same
yeah.
setup, but taping down all the cords simply because people are too dumb to pick their feet up and walk over the top of them. It's like, bro, I gotta tape the top of every single wire here. Come on.
It's funny that you say that. So Shiev
Just
actually
running around
has,
taping everything.
he's been basically he's been my apprentice for about 6 months. About 6 months ago, I was like, "You want to do this for real?" Well, no longer than that. I mean, he's done every NFL game with me this season except this one. Right? He's been with me every week we've had a home game here. He's my guy. And he's come and done some NHL stuff with us. He was at the Stanley Cup, working for the French. So he's been out here for a while. Yeah, the French have a feed at the Cup. And
I worked for the French too, so I know.
yeah. I worked for the first year I did the Stanley Cup. I worked for the French.
Je suis désolé.
That's why you guys sound so defeated.
Yeah. So
I'm more defeated. I'm from Louisiana, so like the deal of a lifetime they got there, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so he was here at the Stanley Cup, and he got to work that as a rookie in our business. Those aren't opportunities that often come our way. And I told him when he first started doing this, I was like, just take it easy. Don't get ahead of yourself. You're only as good as your last thing. And the next thing I know, he's taking gigs. He's like, "Oh, I'm working the Stanley Cup. Yeah, let's go." And it's like, okay, call me if you get stuck, right? I'll be right around the corner if you need help. But he just goes after it, right? He's infectious with life. He wants it. And so those are the things that I just like. That's what that kid, every time I see him, that's what I think of. He's constantly got a smile on his face. He's constantly with a warm greeting for everyone. And I'm excited that that's not gone, because even just sitting in the hospital talking with the nurse about his YouTube channel, he was just bright and happy. So he's walking, he's talking, he's on his way home. And we're all finally able to take a breath, right? Because we've been really stressed about MRI, CT scans, freaking, can you feel all your piggies? Like,
give me a wiggle.
Finally, there's a breath, and finally we can bring some people together and raise some money for a friend and just get together and put our perspective shit on the shelf for a night and just talk about a homie and just be without the bullshit we all carry. So
that's where I'm at, man. I mean, the guy, he's a fellow nerd. He's been a stand-up dude since I've met him. Like I said, infectious smile. He's always been a very, very, very kind dude. So I want to show up and show some support. A fellow nerd. We don't see eye to eye on Star Wars 100% of the time. But that's not what's important, man. That's not what's important.
Well, and that's why I invited everybody, right? Like, I literally went through my Discord, and anybody that I've private chatted with, I'm like, here you go. Here's the link. Come hang out. I don't give a shit what you think of me. This isn't for me. Fuck you. How you doing? Let's go. Right? Like, I don't give a fuck. Right? Because it's not about me. And I was talking to X-Wing earlier today. The reason I wanted to do this here is because I'm not monetized. So there's no super chats. There's none of that stuff that can come to me. If you want to contribute, if you want to help the dude out, the link is on the floating banner. It's in the chat. Feel free to donate $1. Every little bit helps. We're thankful for anything, but none of it comes to me. Everybody else here if you have monetization, I didn't want to confuse it with me and my channel and my shit. So this was just easier than getting it out there.
This is perfect, man.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, look at, what is this up? Like, we're not even at a full day yet.
Yes.
And
it's about 24 hours ago. Yeah.
Over $3,000 from this community, guys. That's unbelievable. That's amazing. I mean, this fandom, say what you will, or what others will say about this fandom, right? But when it truly matters, everyone's there for each other, man. It just, that's the best part about, really, like, you could say that about most fandoms, but I think the Star Wars fandom, it's something special. It's something that we all share that's unique compared to others. And yeah, we have our differences with things. There's things that we all dislike and like and everything. But when it comes down to it, when it truly matters about people, that's when everybody comes together, man. And that's the beautiful thing about it. And that's, in all honesty, when you think about it, that's kind of what Star Wars is all about. It's about bringing people together and you know, solving conflict and getting past things. So, but and like Shiev is just, he's one of those guys. I mean, you've said it so many times. Like you see that smile on his face. It just, you know, what one of my favorite things is watching him do is the watch-alongs. When he does the watch-alongs, you look at him watch this show or movie, like he was watching Rebels. You see it in his eyes what it feels like to be a fan. And I don't think I have that anymore in myself. Like I see it in him, I'm like, oh man, I'm like, that's what I want.
Childlike wonder.
That childlike wonder, that like just that pure, genuine love for it.
Dude, and that never showed more than, and you guys will have to correct me on the show, but I'm pretty sure it was like Boba Fett or whatever was before that. Den of Nerds was doing the watch parties, and you know, the general fan public was hyped because we get a place to go all hang out and watch him. And then one day he was just like, guys, I can't do this shit anymore. And Shiev picked up the watch parties at midnight, and literally Josh gave him the keys to like all the Den of Nerds graphics.
All
so
the Bad
Batch.
That's what it was, I think.
Bad.
Wow.
So you can go back on Shiev's channel to like some of the early watch-alongs, and it'll be like Den of Nerds transitions and stuff on the channel.
Yeah,
but because he was hosting on Den of Nerds, and then eventually like he was able to like negotiate and move everybody over to his channel. So like good on him. And yeah, that was awesome. He picked up the ball when somebody didn't want to, and now his channel is thriving because of it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's you know, I was real thankful that you know, Josh over at Den of Nerds reached out and, you know, retweeted and reached out on Discord and wanted to know what was up. So it's been a really good response so far to everything going on. I mean, the fact that there's $3,000 already there over in just 24 hours is really inspiring. You know, I was reaching out to everybody I could, trying to get as many faces to post and retweet to, you know, hopefully get some of the bigger Star Wars creators to retweet it and get their following to hopefully donate and get this to a place where you know, it's gonna be months and months and months before he can go back to work. A lot of people don't know, you know, what he does. He's standing on his feet all day when he's working his muggle job. So you know, he's not going to be able to do that for a while with the torso brace and with the recovery process, whether they have to do surgery on his back or not. So, you know, I kind of want to get this to a point where it's not going to be too much of a financial burden on his personal life, not knowing what's going to be needed down the road. So, you know, we're going to continue this as long as possible, just to make sure that we can, you know, we can help him out as much as possible over this time.
When a hospital's charging $147 for a Tylenol, you can imagine this is going to be a spendy little stay.
Right. Yeah. Right. He was in the ER in the facility for 2 days. So thankfully he's, you know, he had really good nurses. His nurse, his primary nurse, Valerie, was really a breath of fresh air. She was very attentive and very good. So, you know, I'm actually going to, you know, because he had such a visceral response, such an excited response to the Star Wars community, and the fact that, you know, he's a content creator and all this. I have stuff here in my grab bags of my swag and my stuff that I'm going to take to her tomorrow, just to thank her for, you know, taking care of my boy, dude. Like, I mean, he was scared, no doubt scared by himself there at night. And that's what, nurses are so unappreciated in our world as a whole. They're the ones that bear the burden every day, and they get so little praise. So I have some shirts, I have some, all of the stuff that I make. I'm going to put a bag for her and her husband together because she took such good care of him, and because she was so excited about the whole Star Wars thing to go. So, that's a big thing that people forget when their loved ones are in the hospital, is that the nurses are the ones that are there 24/7. Those are the people that are taking care of your loved ones, and we got to make sure to thank them in whatever little ways we can. So, so that's my plan tomorrow, is to get a grab bag together for her and her husband, and thank her for everything she did.
That's awesome, man.
Because it really makes a difference, man. Those people, those healthcare people, they grind. I mean, every time I showed up, that woman was there.
Valerie,
yeah. His nurse was just baller, dude. So
14-hour days.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, with all the paperwork. I mean, even after she said, "Okay, here's my replacement for the night. Here's Desiree. She's gonna take care of you guys."
we don't want Desiree. We want
2
Valerie.
2 hours later, as dude's passed out, we're walking out. Desiree's still there doing paperwork for all her patients. Like, it doesn't stop just because they said goodnight, right? Like, they're still working on you, even though they're not in front of you. So, like, that's why I'm so thankful to that woman and those women that took care of him during this time, because I know how scared he was. I could see it on his face. I know how much pain he was in. I kept asking him, "Hey, how do you feel?" Right? Like, I know the answer. I feel like shit. But it's like, what's on your mind? Like, what's going through your mind? And the only thing he would ever say was, the only thing really going through my mind is, ow. Like, ouch, this hurt. And I'm like, well, no
Kind of
shit.
a fair reaction, I would say.
Yeah, I'm like, are you scared? Are you nervous? Like, he's just like, no, dude, just ouch. Like, right now, it's just ouch. And I'm like, okay, well, that's.
I don't know if he's going to be scared for a while, honestly. Like, after I interviewed him the first time, he showed up with the same enthusiasm that he has, like, that you're talking about. And it wasn't just about Star Wars. It was just kind of like just a regular conversation kind of thing. And I didn't really see any kind of reason in his eyes that he'd be a person that would, like, give up. So I think
no, he's not. He's got a lot of light, right? There's a lot of light in that.
Yeah, like pure positivity. Like, just
that's what I noticed.
Yeah,
I did
from
a
start to
video.
finish. Share
my screen for a second. I did a regular video with Jonathan Majors, like I always do, getting thousands of views and whatnot. And then towards the ending, I started talking about, it's muted, but I started talking about Shiev, right? And I clipped the GoFundMe.
It's muted on your end.
It's muted, right?
Yeah, on your end, yeah.
It's fine. And I talked about his happiness and stuff. And I posted like that little thing from way back when.
Savages.
Let them die, man.
Right.
F them kids.
What question?
That's the happy guy that we all want YouTubers to be, the Matt Pats of the world. And for him, if you got a little something to spare, want to do something positive, that's where you go. And then I just linked to our live stream that we're doing right now towards the ending of that. Excellent. So if people start coming saying Chillmonger sent them, like 30 minutes from now, that's where it's from.
I love it. Yeah,
but, I noticed that he's always cheerful. He's always happy. Like, I can't think of him without like 16 white teeth shining back in.
No, I don't think he knows how to do it, especially on stream when he's talking about stuff he's excited about. I don't think he knows how to. I don't think that's just a part of him. He's just a happy guy that has that infectious light, right? Like, it's hard to be negative when he's around because he makes you want to laugh. He wants to have a good time, right? Like, it's not there's even on the stuff, if he doesn't like something, he'll still spin it into something positive, right? Like, it's not
always. Yeah.
And that's the stuff that that's another reason that I just like having him around, because in television, a lot of people don't know, we spend there's a lot of downtime, right? We, especially in live television, we build, and then we wait, and then we test, and then we wait, and then we test again, and then we wait. And so there's a lot of waiting, and you want people that you like spending time with in the trenches. It's a lot like being a soldier. right? You want the people that you're in the trenches with to be people you can have fun and laugh and relate and enjoy. You don't want to sit next to somebody like me for 12 hours that's a total asshole, right? So I try to pull people that are the yin to my yang, right? That have more light than
Why do you
me.
think we've stayed friends?
Exactly. That's exactly right. But I try to bring people that have more light than me to shine bright because, you know, I'm not always as bright. And he is another one of those people, right? And he brings that to work with him, and the talent that sees him, they see a smiley face, it puts them at ease, right? When you see a smile coming at you, it's hard to continue to frown.
Yeah.
And those are the kind of people, when you're dealing with talent that are on television, you want them to smile, you want them to be relaxed around you. And so that's why when he told me, he's like, yeah, dude, I'm in, like, let's teach me. That's
Shiev, he does this thing that I do sometimes. You'll see other people do it when someone is like down about something in Star Wars. They're talking about something that like they really don't like or really pisses them off. You'll see a little smirk form on his face.
Yeah,
because
Every
you know he's waiting to like try to say something to bring your hype level back up to where he's at. He's like, no, bro, but listen, this, and then he'll drop like some shit that's in another plane you weren't even thinking of. Yeah,
that's what I've always liked about Shiev is, you know, as this people call it the culture war goes on, the dude has just been an enduring light of positivity. He's never really let anything kind of get him down, you know.
You can't really
coming from the other side of the boat, man. You got to respect the crap out of that. You got to respect the crap out of it.
No, and he does, man. And that's the thing, is he doesn't play the game, right? Like,
yeah,
the game is fun, right? It's
not. It's horrible.
The hell it isn't. It's fun. The game is fun, and
if you wear a mask, maybe
he doesn't play it, right? He's just like, I love everybody, and everybody's great, and I'm everybody's friend, and it's infectious, right? And so he can play both sides of the aisle. He can go on any stream because he's just having a good time, and people like that smiley face, right?
We're talking this way, but you mean to tell me at no point in the hospital bed was he like just going on a rant about how
no, dude, not when we were around, no.
Especially after this.
No, he wasn't. Like,
I've been holding that back for like an hour. So.
I feel, I mean,
waiting for it.
He was like,
my moment.
He was like wiggling and like uncomfortable, and I could see the uncomfortability the first day, and he was just like, and I was like, you can't find that spot, huh? He's like, no. I was like, it's all right. They're gonna bring you some drugs.
Well, your back's broken, so
yeah, that are gonna make you feel real good in a little bit. But that was about it. Is like, I just can't get cut. Well, no shit, you broke your fucking back. Like, come on, your arms in a sling. Like, you're trying to roll, but you're stuck, and you're not gonna be comfortable today, right? It's just not gonna happen. And so, but even then, he wasn't like shitty or grumpy. I mean, every time we walked in the room, it was that, like, you know, that Buddy Christ.
You know, I'm not that surprised though, man, because like Shiev has gone through a lot of shit already, man. And he's like such a positive dude for the stuff he's gone through. Like, it's crazy just how positive he is. So like, to see, you know, it's not that surprising, you know.
No, but a lot. I mean,
it's a character.
Yeah, he's just got that in his heart, man. Was what I'm trying to say. Like, he's really, when people say that they've met somebody who might have like purity of heart, I really think Shiev is that kind of dude. He's got a really pure heart.
Well, and so I totally agree. And the reason that I tell people to continue to continue to reach out, you know, get on his Discord page, reach out on Twitter, especially over the next couple of weeks as he's going through the reconstruction on his arm, figuring out the news on his back, so to speak, is because I have learned that sometimes the people that are the happiest in public bear the most weight.
Yeah,
they always are. That's not an exception. That's generally a rule.
That's generally the rule, right? And so I see a lot of that in him. I see a lot of the happy exterior with the man behind the curtain not as happy as the man in front, right?
I'm gonna start getting depressed. Berto, obsession. I gotta boot scoop, buddy. I'm sorry.
Good, man. Well, no, it's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by.
It's good to see you
Good to
guys.
see everybody.
Yeah, keep
Same,
sharing
bro.
this out. I'll keep sharing it out. Just keep the
we
word
will,
out.
man.
This is a fellow nerd, and we're all together on this. So
Yeah, dude. Thank you very much
All
for
right, guys.
stopping by. I appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Take
dude.
care,
Later, dude.
See you.
But yeah, I mean, look, it's definitely it's definitely something that I've learned over the years, is that sometimes the people that are the happiest in front of us tend to hold the most weight of the world, right? And so that's why I continue to say, reach out, say hello, how you feeling, you want to chat, right? Like him and I text each other a lot, right? We work together now, we're constantly having conversations. The unfortunate part about this is that he has had some days of work that this is going to take away, unfortunately, which is, you know, in our business ends up being quite a bit of money. So that's, you know, that's kind of a kick in the nuts. One of the first things he coherently said was, I'm supposed to work hockey this weekend. Well, okay. So here's the funny thing. My girlfriend finds him at the hospital. He shows up, and the first thing he says is like, oh, hey. And he's completely doped up. And he's like, you found me, right? Was the first thing that he said when in his drug-addled mind when we first found him. And then he's like, they cut my shirt off. I don't they cut my NFL shirt off, right? And it was, I mean, it was black. It's a white shirt, right? You probably see him on the sidelines of the game, these guys in white shirts. Those are people that I work with. And we wear, you know, we have these white shirts they give us to work with. And he's like, but my white shirt is they destroyed it. They're gonna have to send me a new one, right? And it was completely black and frayed and torn up. But that's the first thing he thinks of when he's
ready to go to work,
right?
already.
Like he's like, but how am I gonna what am I gonna do? Right? Like it's just that kid, man, that dude. So it bums me out, because then, you know, we talked a little more and I had to reach out to one of our clients and say, look, unfortunately, guy's not going to be available. He was in a, you know, car accident, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, you know, okay, is he okay? And so I'm sending my television people the link also, because he is a new member of our community. But there's other gigs that he had on the books that he was really excited to do, that unfortunately, you know, we're going to have to reach out and reach out to those guys, let them know what happened. No harm, no foul. These things happen, but I know how bummed he is about that, right? When you first start a new career, when you first get the opportunity and kind of get your legs under you for the first time, it's exciting and you want to do it. And he was so energized for these upcoming days of work over the next month that now are going to have to go away. And I've told him, I was like, man, don't sweat that at all. Once you're back to normal, even before you're back to normal, we'll get you out there, right? Don't sweat that. But those were the things he's disappointed about. He's not disappointed about what's coming physically, his physical therapy, his, you know, bed rest or any of that. He's bummed he's not going to get to go to these gigs. He's bummed he's not going to get to experience and gain experience at work, right? That's the kind of dude he is.
I envy that. I don't. Not that I hate my job. It's just it's a job, you know, a job. So I've had jobs that I was chasing the money and chasing stuff. I'm past that now, but I am envious that, because it's rare where you find something that you are in love with.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's hard, man. I mean, that's the thing about life, is that we get so caught up in having to build life, right? Like having to pay the bills and get a job to pay the bills, that we forget about passion, right? And he has a job, like he has a job right now at home that he can't do because of what happened, which is going to suck. But then he's got this new career path that he's starting also, that's now got to take a back seat for a minute. So it's kind of it kind of sucks in both ways, because he can't do his job, but he also can't do what he wants to be passionate about, right? And so this right now is this weird limbo that he's going to live in. It sucks. So that's just another reason why we're here. I'm going to continue to reach out. I mean, I put all my shit aside for this. I reached out to people I am very hard on, right? Including the largest YouTuber in Star Wars. I've reached out on Twitter to Theory, because Shiev has been on Theory's stream. Basically that.
Bro, Shiev was on the.
That's what I'm saying. Like, like I said, I was surprised when Josh from Den of Nerds replied to my. I've been sending that dude DMs on everything for years and never got a reply. Right. And I was literally like sitting downstairs and I was like, oh shit, he replied. Right. Like,
now, he was reading them the whole time.
Right. Yeah, no, now I know, right? Exactly. That's exactly true. You literally illustrated my point for me perfectly.
Wow.
But
there's a graveyard of DMs, and I'm in that graveyard as well.
Yes.
It's true.
And so the fact that he replied and then he reposted it and he retweeted it.
That kid's like 5 years old, right?
to me, that's clutch. So
spoken like a true dad.
Yeah, right.
Well, respect to him for showing up for Shiev. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know that Shiev is he's an
OG
old school supporter of Den of Nerds, right? I mean, those guys have been
built that tower.
Yeah, I mean, he knows all the old school folks. And so to see Josh, even take a minute, retweet it to his community. I did ask him to try to, get it to Theory, but I know, that guy's got a lot of plates in play. So we'll see what happens, but I'm going to continue to bug the shit out of him. I'm putting my bullshit aside for the foreseeable future, right? Especially when it comes to this stuff. I'm going to continue to do.
So until Ahsoka season 2.
Well, until the dude's out of bed. Let me put it that way. When he's out of bed, he can go ahead and continue to, but he's not the type to ask for anything.
No,
right?
he's not. No,
he's not the type to ask for anything. That's why we're doing that. I'm sure he's going to get mad at me for doing this. I'm sure he is. I don't care. Right. I think it's just over $3,000, I think, is where we're at.
I think he's gonna appreciate this a lot.
Oh, I'm sure
he's gonna be mad about it, but he's gonna appreciate it too.
Yeah, because he's such a humble guy.
He's gonna ask what he can do for you.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's gonna say. He's like,
he's gonna be so have the brace on and everything.
What can I do for you, man? Thanks for this.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly why I don't want him. I didn't want him, because he wouldn't do this for himself, right? And so that's more of why, a couple of us talked about it. I put this out there. I talked to my two guys to my right here, and let them see the GoFundMe before I posted it, just to make sure that I was illustrating everything right, that the picture was right and all that. Speaking of picture, I'm gonna stop sharing this screen for a minute. And I'm going to share.
We don't want to see everything now.
And I'm going to share a different screen with you guys today.
He did tell us everything.
He double checked. Remember, everything's working.
I'm gonna show you guys something very, very new.
Pulled into you.
Okay. And this is a first draft. Right now, I've done a lot of. I see my guys over here are real excited already.
Well,
they know what's coming.
If you've been around the channel, there's a saying.
So if you've been around the channel for a long time, right? Any set motion of time, basically since Tales of the Jedi,
yes,
I have a saying here on this channel, and we have named a character in Star Wars that bus driving bitch Mace Windu. Okay, and so I am going to show you guys the first draft of the new. And this is going to be on a shirt here pretty soon, probably some sweaters, but this is the first draft of Mace Windu, that bus driving bitch.
If you can't tell, it's demonstrating him throwing Dooku underneath the bus for that seat on the council.
So
The
this
look
is
on both their faces, though. The look on Dooku's face. I can't wait to see that fully illustrated. That is just
my artist is a G. He is hilarious. I sent him my ideas for lightsaber Leia and Prince Luke of Alderaan a couple years ago. He knocked it out of the park. So I reached out to him again a couple months ago. We finally got in touch again. And this is his first draft. I showed it to the boys. They literally fell on the floor laughing. And I was like, you have a go. Continue this line of work, please.
Bro,
add a lightsaber in there somewhere. But yeah, dude, this is the first draft of the bus driving bitch Mace Windu. So I wanted to share it with you guys here first. Figured, this is
wait, can you, because like I'm trying to picture the bus, right? Can
Is it a yellow bus?
Right?
Yeah,
No, I don't want it to be kinda. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yellow?
I haven't.
In my head, it's one of them
want...
red tour buses from New York City for some reason. I don't know why.
I want I want like a graffiti graphic design, like someone spray painted it right in the center, and all it says is simply "take a seat."
Okay. Yes, I will add that to the list right now.
Like graffiti art right in the middle of the headlight.
You need some purple. There's
Yeah.
definitely got to be some purple in there. But oh my god, I love that, Scotty.
Yeah,
The whole bus is purple, maybe, or is it the interior?
This is. I told him, I was like, "This is the first draft." He sent me this. I was like, "Yes, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I need something just like this. This is perfect because I want it out before Tales of the Jedi 2. It's great timing. So this is the first project of 2024. Just for everybody, this is our first stream of the year, and this is one of many things on the horizon.
I want that in like a poster format. So I just hang
dude,
that
we're
up.
gonna do it all. I mean, this is probably gonna be on cups and mugs and
It's a great idea. I love it.
I want that like hanging right here.
It's the merch of the first quarter.
Like,
this is I mean, so okay, so just to shamelessly plug, this is the first thing we're gonna do for the new year. Is that we've also just got some new coffee mugs. These are no drip. These are baller. I'm loving this. I got this. There's some other stuff. But yeah, we're doing some new merch. We're doing some new stuff. But that was the most important thing to start the year, as far as merch is concerned, is Mace Windu's bus driving bitch is coming. I told you guys it was coming a long time ago. Nerd Mafia, we've been talking about this for a long time.
You got me really. I thought you were gonna like start reading a script you wrote for that story.
No. not yet. There is other stuff. There is other stuff.
I would have been here, listen to the whole thing.
We are going to and so I have wanted to do some projects over the years. I'm still working on a couple. I'm still working on some choreography for a lightsaber scene in the desert that we're going to work on when it gets a little warmer. I've got some amazing martial artists that I got them a couple of full contact sabers, and I said, make something cool. So they're working on some stuff in the background for some intro stuff and potentially some other edits. But I'm also putting together something unique. I've talked to these two about before. Also, we're going to do a full show. Yes, exactly. That's perfect. We're going to do a full live show. So I am renting out a set stage. I am renting equipment. I am flying people out, putting them up. I have a comedian that we're going to be working with that lives out in Chicago. He's going to come do a couple of sets on the show. So basically the last 45 days, I have been designing the set. I have been writing monologues. I have been contacting celebrity guests that I'm trying to get on. And I'm going to do what I believe the big guys should be doing. right? And I've said this in private. I don't mind saying it outright. If you have 3 million subscribers and 100,000 members to your channel, you should be doing more than just creating videos and stuff like that. I think that you have the financial and production capabilities to do these kind of live shows, and I'm going to do it on the pro level on a garbage budget. So my I'm going to be financing the whole thing myself. I'm going to be putting people up in hotels here in Vegas, and I'm going to bring people out here. I'm going to shuttle them to the facility. We're going to do a talk show. We're going to do a legit in live, in person, 4 to 5 camera live show. And we're going to show the Star Wars community how it can be done.
I can't wait to see the set.
Yeah, it's going to be full green screen. So we're going to be on a production sound stage. It's going to be full green screen production sound stage, floor to ceiling, 40-foot ceiling, full lighting grid, 5 cameras, 1 on a jib, ISOs for each person in the on the panel. We're going to do a comedian. Either I'm trying to get celebrity interviews. I've reached out. I'm paying SAG wages to try to get these people out here. Yeah, we're doing it on. We're going to try to do it big.
How does a YouTuber like myself help? I don't want to, like the reaction stuff where I would take your view. Basically, I didn't want to do that. But I mean, how could I, like, before every episode, I would love to have a video associated with you, like 3 hours before you air. I'll be like, oh, check it out, guys. Star Wars Obsession's got this interview lined up. He's got like, you can reach out to me and I can be sort of a marketing arm.
That's absolutely.
I realize
I will send you all the preview content that you want. We're going to try to do some behind the scenes stuff also. So, I mean, I'm reaching for this. I'm reaching for the stars. I'm not trying to go small. I'm reaching out to everybody from writers of Star Wars novels to actors to directors, whoever I can get my hands on. I'm paying SAG wages. So
where will it air?
Here.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Here.
Because of the way that YouTube works, if it successfully launches, YouTube will go, oh, look, a lot of people are watching this video. Let's just bring it to like the next tier. It'll be going to more people who are using the Star Wars hashtag, who are using Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, words like that, the keywords.
Yeah.
It's very important for guys like us, and we do have enough sway. Me, Scotty, Matt, all of us can influence the way that YouTube pushes this video. Like, we really go all out.
I mean, granted, Shiev's project has taken the forefront of my time right now, right? This is something I've been working on for about 45 days. So if you watch talk shows right now, for instance, Bill Maher is a great blueprint for what I'm trying to do. Monologue, interview, celebrity interview, panel, comedian, finish the panel, and then call it a day. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to do at least 2 shows, maybe 1 day, 2 shows that day. And we'll see how long they last, and we'll see who we can get in the room. But over the course of the last 45 days, I've been designing the desk where we'll do a panel, figuring out camera angles, figuring out lens choices. This is all what I do in a regular day of work. I just concentrate on one little section of television. Here on YouTube, we have to be our own pilots for everything. So it's forced me to learn more than I already did. And now I feel like with COVID over, with, the fear of being in front of another person for many people, the fear of traveling, I feel like the comfort level has come back. And so instead of having 6 people here like this, I'm going to try to get 6 people here.
Shoot.
Or at least, a 3-man panel with hopefully the funniest comedian that I've seen in a long time, will be coming out and do a couple for us. But yeah, I feel like
What's
big
the
dogs.
focus of discussion would for the would it be Star Wars? Or
Yeah,
is it
it's just what we do now, but
Okay.
on a live scale. Like I said, I feel like again,
That could
and
be really cool.
I
Yeah.
pick on Theory because he's the biggest target in the room. Right? In our space, he's the biggest target. And when you're the biggest, it incurs a little bit of I don't want to say wrath, but it incurs the judgment and whatever else you want to call it of other people. And so I'm a little hard on him, but honestly, if I had what he has in his following, I would have been doing this months ago. He has all the connections to all the big YouTubers. He can get these people in a room together.
Okay, with respect to him, if he wanted to associate himself with this, that you welcome that with open arms, right?
Dude, if he's got the stones to come down to Vegas and talk and do it, bring it.
Or even if he plugs it, if he says, "Hey, I just saw this really cool
whatever."
thing." Yeah,
but I invite him outright because he has a different opinion than me. I'm not afraid of in-person confrontation and discussion, right? I thrive on it, to be honest. I enjoy the spirit of debate. So for me, that dude has the largest following. I'm going to do something that he could do in a minute because he's got the resources. I'm going to do it over the next month or so and try to make this come to fruition. I don't have an agent. I don't have most of the things that somebody of that size has to reach out to other people. But he's directed a movie of his own that was very well done. He's animated his own content with other people and created a lot of brilliant things. This is something he could easily do if he wanted to. And a lot of the other big YouTubers could it all. I mean, look, John Campy is a great example of what I think of when I think of in-person YouTubers, right? That dude brings people, they have a lot of discussion, that in person. That's the stuff that I'm trying to do now. COVID really made this whole thing very normal.
Yeah.
I'm trying to break out of that normalcy by bringing people like Shiev out here, by bringing people like you guys out here, by trying to get people like Sam Witwer, like trying to pay SAG actors that, potentially live close, right? Or across the country. I don't really care, right?
Oh, Chief's got his phone back.
What's that?
Or something. Chief's got his phone or something. Just answer my text.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Maybe he's on his computer. But I know I'm pretty sure they're driving home. But yeah, I think that this is what we're going to start doing. I want to do at least 2 of these a year is my goal to start with. In 2024, my goal is to get at least 2 full shoot days in this format.
Maybe save a release for George Lucas' birthday where he turns 80 in May.
Yes. Well, and May's good for me also because that's when
May the 4th, huh?
But we are also
birthday May the 4th, really?
No, I mean
that's when he was just saying it's a good time to do it. We are also going to start prepping for Celebration in 25. So, I'm fully interested in going to Japan for Celebration in 25. So there's a lot of stuff in the next year that we're going to start prepping for, that we're going to start organizing for. But this is the goal for 2024 is to put on live shows with in-person panels, with potential celebrity guests, with comedians, with monologues, like in a professional atmosphere. It's going to be interesting, but this is the stuff we're starting the year with. Unfortunately, I'm putting that just away for a minute. I'm going to continue to work on it on the side, but right now, Shiev is the priority, right? I want to get him in a good space. Once I see that he's in a good space, then I'm going to continue on this and get back on track. But when we get to that point, your guys' promotion is clutch, and I appreciate the offer to promote it because I think this could be a fun new way for us to get together also. not just conventions, not just, you know, I happen to be on that side of the country. Screw that. Let's get you guys here for a little mini vacay with your partner. Give me 2 hours of your day that day, and then go have some fun. Right. That's
Vegas,
the goal.
baby. Vegas.
Right. Let's get some people together. Let's have some fun, but let's also do something different. Right. Because we do this a lot.
Yeah.
Right. To be able to shake hands across a table. Right. To be able to share moments like that before and after the show. Right. Is going to be, it's like a comedian doing a set with other comedians. Right. It's exciting. And that's what I want to do. And so Shiev was already on the roster to come out anyway, because he's so close and he's my guy. But, you know, I want to invite people like Kat and Tom from the Dork Discord. I want to invite people like AD Edits and ADHD that create these awesome projects, right? I want to talk to them about these experiences, building this stuff. I want to do it in person, something different. And, you know, my East Coast friends, all of you East Coast friends, you are equally invited at any time. So we're going to get, you know, we're going to make that happen. I know you guys have little people and real lives.
Yeah, I was like, you got 4 tickets?
I do. We will make it work. Look, I'm not joking.
They'd be at Hotel Grandma and Grandpa so fast.
That's what I'm saying. You send those kids to Hotel Grandma, Grandpa, or Aunt and Uncle and jump on a plane. But the goal is to make this a more regular thing. I don't need a convention. I don't need a meetup. I don't need any of this. I want it to be fun for everybody. And that's what this channel has always been about, is more community than me, right? Yes. Could I get on stream and talk like Josh for 2 hours? Yes. Do I enjoy the sound of my own voice? Yes, I do. So I could gladly do it, but this is more fun.
I really thought he was going to answer no to that.
No, are you kidding? I sound like a young James Earl Jones. Are you kidding? Listen, Luke, I am your father. I mean, come on, that's it.
Wait, I thought that was AI. Was that AI?
What was the scene in Fanboys? He's like, he just called himself White Chocolate.
I just watched that like the other day.
Well, that was more for you, Matt. That was a Big Bang Theory reference more than anything.
Yes.
There's a couple of Coming to America scenes that popped in my head.
Yeah, man, this is what the community is to me. The community is reaching out when you're in trouble and saying, hey, I need a leg up. Right. That's what this community was created for. That's what this channel was created for. This channel was not created for me to have a space to just yell at people and say crazy shit. This was created to help people to have a place to go when you want to be positive. And there's nothing more positive than helping people. Right. There's nothing more satisfying in life than helping another person. And to see that, and that's why I do this to begin with. I've taken a month off to really gather and reassess what I want to do with the channel leading up to 2024. I've been talking to my partner about the upgrades we're going to make to the channel over the course of the next couple months, getting ready for our big plans. This shit happened to Shiev, and I am so thankful to whatever your beliefs are. I don't shun anybody for their belief. Whether you believe in God, whether you believe in the universe, whatever your belief, I am thankful that dude got to walk away from this. I am thankful that he is still here.
Yeah, most out.
I am thankful, and I feel like we are blessed with mild injuries over what really could be. We got out.
Life ending.
He got out pretty well. I mean, in a decent place. It's going to be a long journey back, but ultimately he's walking away from it. And I feel blessed that that has happened. So whatever your belief is, thank your God for me and for Shiev, because this is in all the shit that I've seen cars on fire. I've seen people on fire, right? Getting out of race cars. I've been in cars that have flipped where the roofs are caved in and you're surrounded by airbags like a cannoli, and walked away with a cut on my face, right? I have been blessed to never have been in that situation where I'm laid up in a hospital bed.
Same. I've escaped a terrible crash also.
Eh,
Fine.
The man is alive. So I thank your gods, whoever they are, for my friend making it home. So if you have the ability to donate, in the ticker is where the GoFundMe is. It's really easy. GoFundMe /F/help Shiev the Wise. If you go to GoFundMe and just type in Vader's Lair or Shiev, he is the first person that comes up. So please, if you have $1 to spare from anywhere, please donate. To everybody that has donated so far, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am a old crusty Grinch of a person. I try to be better everywhere, especially here, but I am thankful for every single dollar because it is not easy out there. Everybody's got shit going on, and the fact that you donate anything is a blessing. So thank you for that. I will be reaching out to everybody personally that has donated to the cause to thank you myself. Yeah. Oh, balloons. I didn't know you
Interesting.
did that.
Peace gets you the balloons.
So yeah, thank you guys very much for all of that. I do want to take just a minute, and I feel like Steve kind of ushered this in. I just want to get a quick thought on what we have coming. Are we excited for now?
I have a secondary question.
Oh, okay. I have a second question from the gallery. Go ahead, Hawks Holocron from the East Coast.
Hey, Mr. Obsession, just to tag on to what that boy Steve's asking. Is that really the title of the movie?
I don't think so.
The Mandalorian and Grogu. That's what they're calling it in the tweet. I'm just.
I don't think they have a title yet.
Okay.
That could be the working title.
The casuals know Baby Yoda, so I don't think calling him Grogu is the advantage you think it is.
Or maybe they're driving it home. I don't know. It was a weird tweet. I don't know.
Baby Yoda and the Mando? I don't. Yeah.
Who thought that we were done with a show and on to a movie?
I figured
because I called that when they did the Mickey Mouse,
weird.
Mickey Mouse ending. I kind of called it the show was over.
I didn't think so. I thought we were getting another season.
Okay, and then any positive or negatives on an Ahsoka season 2? Yep. Okay.
I think didn't it just get officially confirmed?
Now Rosario was rope-a-dope. What did I tell you guys? Remember when we talked the other day? And I was like, man, what'd I say? Rosario's out there saying no, but she really knows it's a yes. Right? So she's rope-a-doping us the whole time again. That's what I was saying when everybody was like, Rosario said no. Like,
oh my God, Rosario said no.
She even said, what'd she say? Radio silence?
Radio silence, right. But just like Mark Hamill, nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
Mark was doing something for Mando season 2 finale.
Ewan McGregor lied publicly to everyone for like 7 years.
Right? Hayden kept his mouth shut until it was close, until they announced it at Celebration. Disney, Star Wars, Lucasfilm is very good at the old rope-a-dope. They're very good at keeping their actors quiet. They are so much better at leak suppression than Marvel. Right? It's really interesting. They let out what they want to let out, but they're really good at keeping their people tight-lipped at Lucasfilm. It's really different because Rosario lied, Mark lied. There's a lot of liars in that camp.
I was impressed in the 2020 December presentation. That's the same time we got Rogue Squadron and all those. They never said anything about Book of Boba Fett. But a couple weeks later, at the end of Mandalorian, you saw an advertisement for a TV show. So and Dave Filoni has ties to that. Dave Filoni might be the guy to say, I don't want to release or announce anything until it's time. Yeah. Skeleton Crew, we have really no idea about it.
Acolyte. Acolyte.
And they keep saying that the Skeleton Crew is going to take place out there where they are, or in another type of galaxy type situation. So I do agree. I think that like that'll come, but it's got to fit in timeline wise. It ended perfectly. Like they're not anywhere that they're going to interfere with any movies you hear. So, and that's all new Star Wars canon. Like we don't know the father son of it all, you know. So,
yeah, it's to be honest. Look, I know that I know people aren't excited for the Rey movie. I know people are not excited for the future canonization of sequel era stuff. I think it's a smart move to continue the voyage forward in the Mandalorian time era right now.
Yep.
If you are using this to solidify the sequel era rather than diving into a sequel era movie until this is done. Because if you can use this to get there, don't muddy the waters with a Rey movie in the middle of it.
Too late.
Right? So, well, we'll see. I mean, it seems like this movie is going to go first, right? With John and Dave probably already having written a script, right, for the Mando movie versus the Rey movie, right? The Rey movie doesn't even have a real locked in script yet, right?
That we know, yeah.
Right. I mean, there's no real locked in screenplay that's been released, but I bet you John and Dave have been working on this script and screenplay since Mando 3 ended.
The script won't be locked until a month before its release.
Right. Well, but the idea is on the plate, I think.
2 weeks.
I just wanted to throw in that jab to Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah. But
2 weeks before the release.
2 weeks.
Well, isn't that what Daisy said about 9? Like they're literally
24 hours before they release. Can we get 2 reshoots, please?
Yeah, right. But yeah, we'll see. You know, I'm interested to see where we go. I like that there's an Ahsoka season 2. I think I personally have always believed that that Balin's story was cut short, that the footage they actually shot with him was held back for a season 2 ending to his story. I feel like they shot a lot more with him and that they held a lot of his ending story back and rewrote after he died or recut to save some stuff for a season 2.
And that's actually more common than a lot of people realize. When doing a story that has the plan to continue on, they'll film stuff for the sake of continuity and keeping like an actor looking the same, like having it just blend. You know, it's so I'm with you, man. I would bet good money that they got that in the can already and just waiting to release that.
Yeah, I bet you they have the whatever the continuation of Balin's journey is, that's probably in the can for the beginning of season 2 to lead them into, you know, because it just seemed like his story was so short without conclusion, and to recast would be very, very difficult. And so it felt like after he passed away that they kind of re-edited his ending story and are going to use potential footage they have in the can to finish his story in the second season. I kind of felt like that whole story was left unfinished and that a season 2 was kind of inevitable. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the Mando movie. I want that Infinity War stuff that Dave was promising us, this Mandoverse Infinity War. I want that. And now that Thrawn's back and the Night Sisters are back and there's some evil in the universe again, let's get after it. So I'm excited, and I think 2024 has started with a fucking shit show. But I'm excited by the end of the year that things will be looking much brighter for our friend and potentially for Star Wars. We'll have to wait and see on both accounts, but I'm excited. I'm excited for 2024 regardless of how it started. So, anybody last thoughts? Anybody want to plug anything they're doing? Anybody before we cut out of here? Go get your Matt Cave merch. I've been drinking out of it all night. It's delicious. It's so much better.
Love it. You're my biggest merch supporter.
we will continue to keep you guys apprised. I'm hoping maybe next week we can get Shiev on the stream and we can do a little one-on-one to start the stream and then maybe bring in guests so they can say hello and let him know we're glad he's okay. So maybe next week we can all get together again if you're available. But I'm going to try to get him, and maybe we can talk about him and how he's doing, and people can see his bright, shiny, bruised face and his broken nose. But like I said, it might make him even more handsome than he already was. Sometimes fixing a broken nose with a broken nose, like 2 wrongs make a right sometimes. So, but again,
2 lefts make a right, turn
yeah,
around.
that's it.
Sure.
So thank you everybody who donated. If you have the ability to donate, please get out there and donate. Please share the tweets and the link to anybody you can. The more eyes get on it, the more dollars we can get in my guy's pocket to help him get through this time. Again, thank you.
There's a comment to read.
Which
from
one?
Smith Family TV.
There we go. Thanks for the yeah. He should be home very, very soon. He's probably been on the road the whole time we've been talking. Again, he doesn't really know. He might by now, based on I'm not sure if his communication systems are back online yet, but I know that the comms array in his life was damaged. So I'm not sure where he's at. I think Mafia, were you texting with him? Is he back on the grid?
I got like a reaction to a text.
Okay, so at least he's back on the grid. So again, reach out on Twitter, reach out to Vader's Lair on the Discord if you have him. If not, leave a comment in this chat, in this stream, or any of his. Let him know you're thinking about him. Let him know you're praying and you're asking your God to help our friend. Again, if anybody wants to donate, I highly appreciate it. We're going to keep this going as long as we can, try to get this guy as much help as we can. And if anybody needs anything, reach out on Discord, hit me up in the comments. I always read and try to respond to every single comment that comes through. Thank you guys for coming in and hanging out. I know it's been kind of not the upper of a stream, but this is real life and this is what we do. And this is, kind of why I named this. This is a community unity stream, naming it Project Necromancy for our friend so we can try to rebuild him. It just sounded a little poetic, so I had to do it. But this is why I'm here. This is why this channel is here, is to support the community as a whole, regardless on what side of the fence you stand on, whether you're a Disney lover or a Disney hater. It doesn't really matter when the real world comes to play, right? When things happen in the real world, we put our shit on the shelf and we have a good time and we support each other, and then we pick our swords back up at the end of the day and we can go back to the battle. So
I know that this would never happen, but what if it was like his supervillain arc now?
We get
and now we get the
I'm just saying.
Oh, guys.
I'm just saying.
He's saying now he hates it.
Yeah, that's it. He hates it.
That's it. I hate the sequels. I hate Disney. I think the screw is back in place.
He
Bring back
understands
the blue
Vader.
Screens. He put a Rancor to sleep.
That's the next big villain voice right there.
Still have that clip somewhere too.
I know you do. But no, I mean, this has been exactly what I needed to be. We had some friends here we hadn't seen in a long time. We tend to pick our camps and stick to them. This is not the time to do that. So again, I'm going to try to do this next week. Hopefully we can get more people in. Hopefully we can
hold on. I think I got something we can send off with.
Rancor to sleep, man.
No, it's better than that. This is going back to what you're talking about before. Let's see. It's got to be here somewhere.
Hold the line.
Stay on target.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
There it is. All right, hold up.
Good to see you, Q. Been a while. I like what you did with your hair.
I love what you've done with the place.
Great.
Took me a minute to put all those curls up there. You can't.
I can tell. Yeah.
Oh my god.
We're losing.
Boy, I just I feel like I need the Jeopardy.
What you doing over there, bro?
Soundtrack going here, like or the Benny Hill.
Boomer did.
Good God,
I don't
the
think they can
pressure's on.
copyright it if it's from your mouth, right?
How come I'm the one sweating bullets over here?
I mean, it depends on how accurate you are. With
Right.
it, how good of a whistler are you?
Dude, so Doctor, I watch a lot of during the day. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of Star Wars or nerdy stuff on, so I watch a lot of like streaming gamers, right? And Dr. Disrespect, I've been watching a little bit of his because he's been playing Modern Warfare, and he started whistling in his stream the other day, and I wanted to throw my computer across the room. I was like, "How dare you start to whistle when people have your like? What's wrong with you, man?"
Like in the ear.
So,
Okay,
what is
I got
wrong with you, man? And I love his attitude because
Right
he's
into
like,
the mic.
"You don't like it? Get out of here!" Like he'll yell at you and like by name and tell you to leave. So yeah, it's pretty funny. Did you get it yet? Did you find it?
It won't let me do the audio unless it's like.
Hey, step into my office. Why? Because you're fucking fired.
It was Tracy Dupree.
Wait, hold up. Can I send it to you? Real quick?
That's Sheev's people.
That's Sheev's people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
So yeah, we're so yeah, you're fired. You're fired from clip show duty from now on. But yeah, we're gonna jump out of here. I'm grateful that everybody stopped by. I'm grateful that our guy is headed home. I'm grateful that he is walking, talking, and breathing. It has been a hectic week. I'm glad to finally get a breath of fresh air. I'm sure everybody also feels the same way that's been on the roller coaster with us. So I appreciate you guys and everybody for showing up. Santa, X-Wing, all of you guys. Thank you for being here. Again, we're going to try to get the dude if he's feeling up for it next week once he's home and settled and resting. But we'll try to get him here next week, talk a little bit more about what's going on. But you finally find it? Okay. We're going to close out the stream. We're going to close out the stream with this.
Too.
So I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. We'll close it out. But everybody, thank you for being here. As always, I don't know how many times I've said it. I say it with every stream that I close with. Don't forget to get out there, get your pet spayed, neutered, help control the pet pop. Oh, not that one. Don't forget to tell the people in your life how you feel today. Don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Don't wait, because literally this is the epitome of what I'm talking about. You don't know what comes day to day. And as Cat Williams said in something I was listening to today, live every day if it's your last. And when you put your head down at night, don't go to bed regretting you didn't say what you feel. If you love somebody, tell them you love them. If you hate them, tell them you hate them. But be honest, speak your mind and say the truth, because you never know what tomorrow brings. And this is a perfect example of that. So don't be mean to each other. Try to care about each other. Let's try to be a little more Shiev in our life. Let's try to bring a little happiness. Let's try to bring a little love to the world. So I'm going to close out with the guy. Thank you, everybody, for being here. As always, be safe, take care, and we'll see you next time.
It's let's go! Bad Batch hype.
That's your boy.
He hates when I play that clip.
Everybody have a great night. Be safe. We will see you guys soon. All the love. Again, get out there and donate if you can. Thank you so much for everything you guys have done so far. We'll see you next time. Take care, and we're out.